Welcome back, knife and bike fans. I posted my first video yesterday after many months of not doing anything, and then I'm following up again today with something on the knife side of things, because the last video was related to bicycle stuff. So this is a quick look at the Massdrop Ferrum Forge Buc, or Buccaneer. And this just came, I got this I think Thursday, and so I just wanted to kind of give everybody a quick look at it. If you weren't in on the Massdrop purchase and you're thinking about getting one of these from somebody else or whatever, maybe this will be helpful to you. And I'm not going to do a whole lot of detailed information in here, because I have a feeling that there's going to be a flood of reviews on this knife over the next week, just because these all shipped out and everybody got them about the same time. So I've already seen 2 or 3 videos pop up in the last couple of days, and so this will be kind of adding into that. But I just want to give you guys a look and hopefully show you what it looks like up close, and give my thoughts on the good and bad about it. And I hope you like this. So here is the knife in the box that arrived in from Massdrop. And I want to point out, I really like this because it's a custom box. It's not just a generic, plain knife box like you would get from a production knife typically. So this actually has a picture of the knife model on the front and the name, printed on there. And then on the back side, it actually tells you a little bit about it too. So, it actually says this, features the same premium materials found in other Ferrum Forge knives. The Buc, short for Buccaneer, takes inspiration from traditional Asian cavalry sabers. So, it's kind of neat. I like the fact that it's actually a box specific to this knife. So anyway, we open this up, and inside we have a nice little fabric knife case, and again it has the Massdrop logo and kind of a Massdrop by Ferrum Forge design, silk screened on there, so that's nice. And then inside the case, desiccant and this nice Massdrop polishing cloth. It's kind of cool. And you can see that the side of the case, the inside of it is actually kind of lined with like a fleece type material. And then here's the actual knife. And you can see this is still in the plastic. I just got this last week. So anyway, there it is. Really cool. You can see I went with the blue anodizing on the frame, and then the gray backspacer and gray clip. I just really like blue. It's sort of my favorite color. So this is really, right in the range of colors that I like for things like clothing and such. So anyway, I really like this. It has the Ferrum Forge logo on the lock side of the frame. And then the action on this is great. It's got a great detent. Opens really quick. It looks slower on video, but it actually is very quick in real life. And you can see that kind of unique blade shape. It's not really a Warncliffe, but it's also really not a cleaver. It's kind of something in between the two. Definitely kind of shaped like a cutlass, or something like that. So very interesting. On the back side of the blade, not on the presentation side, interestingly, they actually have the Massdrop logo and model number, and the blade steel, which is S35VN. I don't know if you can see that clearly or not. It's hard to tell. I'm looking at the knife in real life and then trying to look at it on the monitor to see if it's readable, but it is S35VN. The Massdrop marking on there, some people kind of object to that, but to me it doesn't bother me. It's just tastefully done in an all lowercase font, and just very subtle. And like I say, it's on the back side of the blade, so it's kind of nice. And then lockup, you can see it's somewhere around maybe like 50%ish or so. Looks good to me, and there's a steel lock bar insert, so that's nice. The hardware all seems to use looks like a Torx fitting, Torx bit type thing, so that's nice. Nothing proprietary there. And then one thing I really like about this blade, everything on it is chamfered or radiused. They've got a bevel on all the edges that would otherwise be, square, like around the top of the spine of the blade, even into the jimping area here. You can see it's chamfered. And then the this opening in the blade here, which I guess is like a thumb hole or spidey flick hole if you want. Again, nicely chamfered. And even in this finger choil or sharpening choil area, again, it's chamfered. So really nicely done. The jimping on the flipper tab is aggressive but not scratchy, so you definitely get a good grip on it. Has really nice action. Detent is strong. It's not a feeble detent at all, so it definitely pops open with authority. And you know, closing, it's got a little bit of friction, but it's very, very smooth. So it's not like it's dragging or feels gritty or anything like that. My understanding is that this knife runs on caged bearings, which is really nice, especially considering the price point for this guy. You know, to get this for, I think, under 120 is what I paid. Really, really nice. I like it. Blade centering is perfect. No issues there. No protrusion of the blade through the back of the spine of the handle, so you're not going to cut yourself there. So those are all the great things about this. Now the things that I'm not super wild about, the clip for one. It looks great, and it's nicely made. It's milled and everything. It's a really cool piece of machining. But if you look at the way that it's built, you can see that it's not real beefy in this area here, and I'm worried that over time this might have a fatigue failure, especially since the clip is pretty aggressively up against the frame here, so it's already under tension. And then when you're sliding this over the hems on your jeans or shorts or whatever, it's going to open that up quite a bit, and you're going to get a lot of flex in here. And I just worry that eventually this will be a stress riser and this clip could fail. I don't know, we'll see. I would prefer if it was like a bent steel clip, like a stainless steel bent clip. I think would be more durable. Wouldn't look as nice, but I think it might be more durable. And then other things that I'm not super wild about, or at least that I think I might have done differently if I was doing the design on this. This choil in here is great. You can choke up on it if you want, although to be honest, that kind of makes me nervous because you're really close to the cutting surface there. And if you know, by the time you get your finger in there, there's not a lot of clearance between that sharp edge and your finger. So I'm not sure I would ever really do that, especially, you know, in a case where you're choking up. It's probably because you want more force on the knife. So to have that close to the edge there kind of makes me nervous. So I think my feeling would be that they should have brought that down further and made it more of a true cleaver shape. Just brought the sharp edge down, you know, another 1/4 inch or so, 3/8, and fill that in and make this less aggressive. But of course, then the flip side of that would be there would be more blade right up in this area here too, where it gets closer to the back of the knife. But otherwise, really cool. The grind lines are really perfect. I mean, if I look at it and really analyze, I could maybe say maybe this area in here, this flat, is ever so slightly different shape on one side versus the other, but it's really subtle. You know, I think maybe I'm just imagining it. And they've done a nice job of brushing the blade after grinding. It's a little hard to tell because it's still oily from the packaging here, but it kind of looks like it was ground and then maybe you know, polished or honed with a Scotch-Brite belt, because there's kind of a little bit of a random direction. You know, you can see that there's different patterns on the flat of the blade and on the flats and this swedge area up here. So I think maybe they ground it and then kind of, you know, polished it up with a Scotch-Brite. But it looks really good. Super nice. It's just amazing to get this for, you know, 120 bucks or so. I think it's super cool. Some reviewers have kind of said that they think that the handle is a little bit slim, and I agree. It's not a huge handle. I'll compare it against my favorite knife for carrying here is the Spyderco Ferrum PPT, and you can see similar shape and size knife in terms of like the cutting area and blade size and such, but for sure the Ferrum has a much broader handle in it, and it definitely fills the hand better and feels more. You get a more solid grip on it for sure. And again, see, you know, checking out with this guy, it just feels like, because this is a square area up in here and then there's a flat, you can choke up on it without really getting into the sharp part of the knife. Now, of course, you don't have a sharpening choil, so that's maybe the downside there. But anyway, just to give you a comparison, that's the Spyderco PPT. This is an older one. This is not the Sprint Run. These are actually custom scales from Custom Scale Division in Germany on an older original run Ferrum PPT. So anyway, okay, just for comparison. But yeah, this is super cool. I love this thing. I'm super glad I bought it. I will say that, you know, I see a lot of really cool knives on Massdrop, and a lot of them I'm like, oh, that's neat. But then I ask myself, I kind of, you know, have to say, do I really need that? Is that something I'm really going to want or be happy with if I, you know, take the plunge and buy it? And, you know, in a lot of cases I say, nah, I can live without it. But this one, I was just so drawn to the shape and the design of this that I really, you know, wanted to go ahead and get it. And I'm glad I did. It's the funny thing is, I think I purchased this back in, I don't know, March or April or something like that. And now it's late August, you know, when it arrived. So it's been a long time coming, but really cool. I like it. Super cool. Nice little lanyard hole back here too. So I'll probably add a lanyard to that too at some point, just because I kind of like to be able to, you know, pull knives out of my pocket with a lanyard. Anyway, there you have it. Massdrop Ferrum Forge Buc. This is the blue frame and gray clip, gray backspacer version. Super nice. Thank you so much for checking out my quick review of the Massdrop Ferrum Forge Buc. Just a super cool little knife. Really like it, and hope this was a helpful thing to you. And if it was, please like or subscribe. And I'm going to throw some links up here. I never know where to point, but somewhere up here there'll be some links to to the other videos, other reviews, and I think maybe the Ferrum Forge channel on YouTube, etc. So you can go, you know, look at other information on this knife if you want. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate your viewership, and I hope you continue to stick with me and watch more videos. Thanks.